We're gonna go through our display box now. What's included, what we need you to do depending on the mounting in the showroom, but just kind of a nice complete starter kit for our displays. We really work hard with our factory to make sure we've got all the components and everything in here for you. But it's still nice to go through it with everybody and just review what comes in the box. So this is our new Windsor display board, our 18x15 whiteboard, which is our smaller display, which goes on the spinner program that we've talked about. One thing that we did hear a ton of feedback from our reps and customers is we needed more finishes included with our displays. So a lot of our newer collections or top collections will have all stock finishes included in the display. For example, with our new Windsor board, we have the tissue holder in a nice unlacquered finish. We've got the 12-inch bar in a 68 polished nickel, as well as the robe hook. And then we've got the towel ring in chrome, okay? So when you're doing your spinner display, the best time to mount your hardware to the back of the unit is before you put the product on the board, okay? So what I'm gonna do here is just go through the legend that we've provided on the back of the board, because this really helps you when you're doing any kind of installation in a showroom. We've laid out the hardware locations for flat wall. So your Z-clip goes into this blue square here. Your slat wall hardware goes right there at the top. This is that little hook that's just gonna go onto a slat wall type application, slip down like so. And then we've included our red notes here for the spinner location. So the spinner hardware location, which is, here, which is gonna be this bracket here. So this L-shaped bracket is gonna be the component you need to install before you put it on the spinner. And again, really easy to install without the product on the board. So I suggest if you're doing a spinner installation, get the display boards out first, mount your backings to the back, and it really helps it to mount it when it doesn't have product kind of making it uneven. One thing that is really important when you're doing a two-sided spinner, you'll notice we have 4 different hole locations for this wall, or for the spinner bracket hardware. You want to have 4 display boards with your hardware on the 2 outside hole locations. So you need to do 4 with that location, and you need to do 4 at the interior location. This will make sure, if you can just swing over here, that when you mount the boards to the display, you're gonna have room for each to hang on opposite sides, right? So this display here has the 2 outside locations. What I'm gonna do is mount those other brackets on here and show you how that fits seamlessly on either side, so you're not gonna have a problem mounting the boards, okay? Okay, we're gonna mount the backings to the back of the board here. One thing many of you know, the hardware that we use for our displays is a square bit. It's a number 6 drill bit, but I know a lot of you in America don't have this or it's not as common. You can use any 5/8 length screw. Any Phillips head with a 5/8 length will be the perfect screw for it. Don't go any longer than that. You're gonna go through the other side of the board. You might be able to get a 1/2-inch screw to work, but for a heavier collection, you probably wanna go to the 5/8 screw. So if you wanted to go to Home Depot, buy a few of these so you have them in your car, a nice way to make sure you're not trying to put a square peg in a Phillips head. Like I mentioned, when you're putting the hardware on your displays, really important to put 4 boards with the 2 locations here on the 2 internal locations and 4 boards with the external locations, because we're gonna put it down here and it fits nice and easy on that board, and you can get 2 per side without any issue. When you're opening up our displays, we do include the decal cover on the displays. You have to remove that when you're at the showroom. This is not something that is supposed to be on the board when it's put on the wall or on a spinner. So it's always really nice just to quickly make sure it's nice and push down on the display, and then we're gonna pull this little piece off to make the final display unit. One thing that I do notice sometimes as well, we do need to remove this little cyan corner. That is an alignment tool for our factory. It is not a design aspect of the displays. So we need you to take that off, and it's always easier before you put it on the spinner, especially because the side components are gonna block your access to that piece. So once you've been able to kind of get all your components on, You're about to put it on the display. Just peel that off nice and slow so you don't pull any of the kind of coloring or any of the lettering off. And now you've got a really nice, clean collection name on your. And we do include a little instructions manual. It does have all of the information that I talked about in terms of mounting hardware and where to locate it, where to mount it. And it's got our layouts for product. This really cut down on misinstallations. You know, sometimes I go into a showroom and the product was aligned incorrectly. Please make sure you reference this to know where each item goes. But what's great about our displays, all of the backings are mounted to the board. You just need to use your really great Cartners branded Allen keys. This is what we sent those 2 pieces down for you to use. The smaller head is going to be used for a majority of our collections. The larger 8mm piece is going to be used for Berlin, Bonn, and some of our shower hardware. Again, when you're installing, really important to tighten the piece down nice until you hear a little bit of a squeak so that you know it's on there secure. But again, these little Allen keys make it so much easier to install our product when you're in a showroom trying to get everything assembled. So this should make your display installs a lot easier.